Hey, hey. Welcome to WKN Podcast Season 2, Episode 3, also known as, I believe, Episode 19 or 20 total, because that's where I am. If you haven't watched Season 1,
Yeah, it should
go
be
back and
20.
watch it. Yeah,
I think it's
maybe 20.
20.
I don't even
I
know.
think it's
It's so
20.
many. Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
a lot.
20.
Yeah. So, anyway, welcome. This is the podcast where we talk about all things four-wheel drive, all things not four-wheel drive. We talk about whatever we want, whenever we want. But thanks for being here with us. These are your hosts,
Thomas,
Stacy.
we're so stupid.
and I'm still. It's like you guys forget every week. Right?
Only Thomas. Only Thomas. He forgets every week. He goes first.
It's so silly.
Awkward.
Anyway, awkward. Maybe someone can like fix that, and we can just have like I don't know, like a cue button to Thomas where he like lights up something. It's funny. Oh my gosh. How crazy of a week have we had? Oh, we were gonna have we had talked last week that we were gonna have a special guest this week, but due to some timing issues, he's actually gonna come on next week. So y'all just get us. Yay.
And everybody just left.
And
Yep.
everybody just left.
Well, good episode, folks.
Good. Yep.
Bye.
I think we got out in about 30 seconds. It's great. New record. What are you guys drinking tonight? Anything fun to unwind from the craziness that we've had? And I'm sitting on my couch today. That is how unwindy I'm ready to be.
Yeah, considering y'all just got in back in
A
today.
couple hours ago. Yeah. Like
Yep.
literally 3 hours ago, I think.
Yep.
It was more
And
like
we got in
4
late.
hours ago, but
Actually, early this morning is what time we got
Early
in.
late. Well, are you drinking coffee then?
No, I am not, but I did change cups.
Uh-oh. Did you get a new one?
No,
Oh, nice.
it's an old one, but it's one of my army ones. I'm kind of boycotting Buc-ee's right now, so I
why?
ditched
What
my
happened?
cup.
Uh-oh. Look at
It's a
Stacy's
bad
face.
experience.
Well, the first Buc-ee's we stopped at, I went to
See, what
grab.
happened was
Yes. So anytime you grab one of their barbecue or one of their sandwiches, either the turkey, sliced brisket, whatever, they put barbecue sauce on it, on the bread, on the sandwich, and wrap it up in the foil, and it sits. It makes the bread soggy. So I've
and they put too
always,
much on it.
yeah, because I've always asked, hey, so can y'all make me one real quick without barbecue sauce? Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Well, not this time. Apparently, they've changed policies, or at least at this location.
It was the other one too, because I asked.
Oh, really? Okay. So apparently Bucky's has changed policy where in order to make for them to make a sandwich, even though they do an assembly line and just not leave barbecue or leave barbecue sauce off of one of them, nope, you got to buy a pound of the meat in order to have without barbecue sauce.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know how they used to have the kiosks where you can go and order whatever you want? They took all those out.
I didn't even know you could do that part.
Yep. No
well, you just have
custom
a
orders.
just have a 1 pound brisket sandwich. I mean, I don't see the problem with that.
How much
Until
is
you pay the price.
$30? Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
$30.
It's close to $30. Yeah. It's not worth it.
Let's say one of the regular ones with barbecue sauce is like $9.
Yeah,
But that
exactly.
wasn't the only problem. So we went and got 2 bags of the chips, potato chips. They were literally had so much salt on them, you could not eat them. Yeah.
Right? So you had like, it was like Thomas hating Bucky's here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did they have ice and everything too? Like you couldn't get no ice and lemon juice everywhere.
I had to get iced coffee. Who does that? Well,
Go lay down.
No more Bucky's for Thomas.
Oh, I'm sad for you.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
so
gonna go burn my cup.
that's gonna take a while. I
Go smash
am
it.
drinking my normal margarita thing. But what I was gonna say is that at the Bucky's, I panicked because I don't like any of their stuff on their thing that everybody loves. So I keep trying different things and it keeps failing me. So then yesterday, no, not yesterday, Friday, I was like, I'm going to do one of these cold sandwiches. Maybe I'll like that. That is the worst idea ever. Like I took one bite and then I got disgusted. So I was starving, but I couldn't eat it. And so then I wrapped it back up and put it in the RV fridge and I tried to feed it to Dustin to lunch on Saturday. And he was like, "Ugh, what is this?" Like, that's a Buc-ee's sandwich. We didn't even feed it to the dogs. It was so yucky. I wouldn't even feed it to any of the dogs around.
Yeah,
So,
they've kind of gone downhill.
So this morning, Dustin was, we stopped and Dustin was getting a breakfast thing and I panicked. I ended up getting the biscuit with bacon and egg and cheese. And the middle eggs were super wet, which I just kept thinking about Stacy's hotel experiences. So I ate around the corners and then threw the rest away.
I will
So I've
say,
got
I haven't got a single breakfast item from there that I like because the eggs suck.
Are
I
wet.
got a brisket burrito. It's just brisket and eggs. No sauce.
Yeah.
And the brisket was good, but I raked all the eggs out into my bag and just ate a brisket wrapped in a
They
tortilla.
sell just the brisket with no eggs. I saw that today because I thought about it, but then I was afraid it'd be really
Yeah.
fatty. I got nervous.
Well, Scotty got their I think it was like the Philly cheesesteak burrito or something like that.
And he
And he said it was really good. So
For breakfast or is that a
no,
dinner
that was
thing?
for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, on our way back.
Interesting.
The first stop when we stopped at the first one.
But all the cheese was at the bottom,
Yeah, the cheese was all at the bottom.
I
which
don't
was like my
understand what's happening.
burrito.
All right, so
All my
Buc-ee's,
cheese
y'all
and
need to step
beans.
up your game.
Yeah, step up your game.
Because y'all are
'Cause the
getting
four of us and
lazy.
Yeah, because the four of us and our 13 viewers, we're mad.
Yeah,
We're mad
we're
about
not
the
happy.
soup. It's like egg soup. It's like egg. It's eggs. I don't like eggs.
Yeah. Not
Change your
everybody wants
eggs,
barbecue sauce.
people.
Not everybody can eat your barbecue sauce. They just want
Well, yeah,
bread. And then if
and
I
meat.
want barbecue sauce, I'll put it on there myself.
That's a
Exactly.
smart
Shouldn't
plan.
have to have soggy buns.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't toast the buns. So when you get it, it's all soggy. And if it sits for an extended period of time,
They should just make it
nasty.
like a regular option anyway. Just
You would think.
brisket sandwich and barbecue sauce. Because
Hey, and they're saving money on product.
yeah,
Sure. Charge me the same price. I don't care. I just don't want it.
Exactly.
It's not like McDonald's takes off tomato price if I don't get it. Not
Yeah.
McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, but the other places. Stacey, what are you drinking?
It's just my
Are you in a
green.
Buc-ee's cup?
No, I'm
Green
in
tea?
one of my Stanleys.
Her
What about you,
Panera
Dustin?
tea.
My
Her
Panera.
Panera green tea, Sip
Yeah.
Club.
Oh,
Ooh, that's his favorite Gatorade. So while we
Riptide
were down
Rush
there,
Gatorade.
yeah, when we were down there at that grocery store, what's it called? Saving Suds or something?
S&S Foods or
Yeah, in my head it's Saving Suds. I don't know why.
Saving Suds.
That's what it should be
it's like a
named.
laundromat name.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I saw that Gatorade, and that's Dustin's favorite. We can never find it here. So he got 2 8-packs
nice.
of it. He's very excited.
Oh, nice.
But we keep saying what we were doing and where, but we never have not said where we went. Where'd we go? What happened? What'd we do?
Burning logs apparently to Dustin's picture.
I know.
I'm just trying to stay warm. I've been like freezing all day long.
Well,
It's
it's
cold in
been-
this room.
It was like 2 degrees this morning.
Yeah, he was trying to mess with the camper.
It's
20.
13 right now.
It was 20 there when we got up, but
Holy crap.
I had to get the camper hooked up and all the crap taken disconnected, and I was freezing. I've been cold all day.
But
Yep.
where were you when you disconnected it?
At the campsite.
The campsite. What campsite?
In
Lonesome.
yeah. Emotional.
I think I'm backwards.
No, you're nuts.
I'm gonna flip. I think I'm backwards.
So we went to Alabama.
No, you're good. You're good. Don't flip it.
Yeah, you're
You're
fine.
gonna look backwards on
Leave
your
it.
screen, but
Okay.
you look fine to everybody else.
Okay,
Yes.
so you can read it.
Yes.
Yes.
I can read it.
Yes.
I can read Thomas's also. I was just messing with him.
I know.
Oh, okay, good deal.
And
So,
I
yeah.
was completely ignoring him. So
As usual.
what?
As per
As
usual.
usual.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Right. Oh,
So, no, we had a fun trip for sure.
Hmm.
It
oh
Mm-hmm.
was
yeah. It was
down
very
to
eventful.
Stoney Lonesome Off-Road Park in Alabama. Was it called Brenham?
Uh,
B it was something. It's
I
like
would
20
Bremen,
miles or something.
Bremen.
okay.
Yeah. It's a very small town. When you get off the expressway, get gas there because there's
John, get
Yeah.
gas there.
yeah, John and Amy get gas there because
No, John's just directionally challenged. That's
well,
the
John
problem.
also I think just probably should just let us talk to Amy from here on out. You just show up and
No, we
be
just need
pretty,
to
John.
make sure we talk to Amy and leave
You just show up
John
to be
just
pretty.
completely out of the conversation.
We're gonna let Amy make all the important decisions, as in arrangements and
And
stuff.
John, quit using Waze. Waze
Yes.
has been
Ways.
your problem. Well, it's John's
Waze
problem
Waze is terrible.
I never had
because
Age is
fun.
obsolete.
so off of 65, it's exit 299 to get to Stony Lonesome. And there's like 3 or 4 gas stations literally before the 9 mile trek off as soon as you get off of
Yeah.
65 to get there. Um, well, they stopped at the exit before that,
Before.
and that gas station was closed. So then Waze was trying to take them another direction to another gas station, which they went through some
Through
bunch
what?
of back roads, and they ended up another 15, 20 minutes south of exit 299.
It's a bad plan.
Yep.
So his
Poor John.
4.5 or so road trip
Yeah.
turned into closer to like a 6 to 7 hour road trip because John was driving.
It was really long. Which is crazy because
Was
he makes our what would be like an 8 hour day on the trail be like 3 hours because he drives so fast.
exactly.
But
That's the
I guess
reason
it
why he
was
drives so fast because of the downtime in between him trying to find the trails. So he's got to hurry up and get to the next trail after
it's
we spent
funny.
3 hours trying to
Is
find it.
obviously slightly directionally challenged.
What was even funnier though is I called him and because I already knew just dealing with John this whole time that we've known him over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so I started laughing because we met up with Michael at Bucky's there just before Bowling Green. And so we rode in together. So by the time we got there, it's pitch black. But of course, when you Google map it, first off, it tells you to go a completely different route than to actually turn left
Yeah, we
at
didn't do
Mm-hmm.
that.
spot.
Can you actually get in further down
Yeah.
the way though? Okay.
No, no, you can't. It's
It was
blocked.
like an
I,
old entrance or something. What it
Yeah.
looked like.
But so as soon as you pull up to the entrance, you'll see it's all lit up, but it's a car wash literally sitting right there at the entrance. It's a big car wash that they have there. And so we pulled up beside and it's raining. So we pull up beside the car wash. I'm trying to figure out, okay, is that building the office? Nope. Is that other building? Nope. Couldn't find the office. So then started trying to look on Google Map, but of course, it's not updated enough, so it just looks like bare land. So it's hard to see what building is where. But it shows that it's literally a cemetery that they have marked. It's right next to the office. So figured out where the office was. Of course, it's pitch black, so you can't see anything anyway. And it's not lit up at the office because it's closed by now. It closes at
yeah,
5. And here it's 8 o'clock when we got there, 7, 8 o'clock.
it gets dark early there too.
It
I feel
does.
like
Well, they're an hour behind us, so
yeah, it's
Yep.
dark.
And then and then being in the middle of Central Time, the sun's
Yeah.
already done past. Um, but so found the office, and of course, the office, since it's closed, they have a drop box in the back. Like I said last week, they have a little drop box in the back. You just find your name with your key, and then you go find your cabin. Well, there's no map on where your cabins are located. So just based off of looking at pictures that I saw, because they don't show all you see whenever you're on their website. They just show you of what the outside of the cabin looks like. So, of course, I already knew what the RV sides looked like, and I knew what the single cabins were, or it's like a double. It's like a 4-man cabin. It's got two sets of bunk beds and a bathroom, and it looks like a little log cabin, and they're tiny. But then the unit is what we stayed in, is what they call it. It's basically like a trailer. So we literally just drove around probably what 10, 15 minutes before we finally found and made 2 loops around the units once we got over there to them to find the one that we were actually in. And then of course it should have only taken maybe 5 minutes, if that,
I
to
mean,
find it.
it was
Once you
surprising
knew the layout, it was like, oh shoot, that this
Yeah,
should have taken me
yeah.
3 minutes.
as well as the trails were marked in that place. Do you think they could put up some extra signs on how to get to the cabins and which direction those
Yeah,
were?
the trails are marked exceptionally well.
Right.
The cabins, not so
Not so
much.
much. Well, as it started getting later, and then after Stacy's like, you might want to call John and Amy because we already knew. I sent him a message that said, I already know John's gonna get really pissed off because he can't find where the office is at. Two, to even know where to look for the key, and then and then three, to actually find where his cabin's located because they stayed in one of the cabins.
They stayed in the cabin.
They stayed in the cabin.
Yeah,
John,
'cause-
Amy, Bean, and Jolie, they're 2 dogs.
yeah.
And
So
so
there's definitely, so the cabins are definitely like a roughing it sort. I don't want to be offensive, but it does kind of remind me of a jail cell a little bit because it's just very like a cube with two, like
how do you
not
know what
really
a
any
jail cell
windows.
looks like, Sylvia?
I watch lots of TV.
I watch lots of TV.
Exactly what I would imagine it looks like. Kind of like just plain walls with nothing, and then two bunk beds. I mean that's pretty
Two
much
sets of bunk beds.
exactly
Yeah.
what
The
it
only
looks
I mean,
like.
difference
it's
between that
literally bunk.
and the prison cell is the bathroom actually has a door
Yeah, I think that's
instead of
what.
just being in the middle of the bunk beds.
And there's a
And
shower.
there's a kitchen and a microwave. I don't know if jail cells have that,
Oh
No,
yeah,
but
they just have a microwave. There was no stove. There was no oven. They did
it's
have a little
literally
it
like
was a
refrigerator.
mini fridge. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
it's literally just like right above camp, like tent camping. I feel like no, but it's so cheap. That's why it's just not. They
Oh
don't
yeah,
the amenities that's not there. They're like it. But then the
I'm
units,
just ecstatic they even had anything, which is really
that's
nice.
what I'm saying. Like
They
it
were
you
awesome.
don't if you want something super like fancy and nice, then go stay in a hotel or bring a camper.
Stay in a
But
hotel or buy your own
yeah,
camper.
yeah, because they're like, we're gonna have these, and they have a lot of them, which they're at
Yeah.
least able to have a lot.
Yep. So
And
I
then the
already knew
units, those
that.
set a little bit more, the ones that you
Yeah.
guys were in.
Yeah, there was. I mean, for
But I
the
mean, they're still
weekend,
less than
it
100
was two
bucks a
hundred fifteen
night
dollars for
divided
2 nights.
5. Yeah,
Yeah,
divided by 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
So,
stayed with us. Yeah.
mhm.
So, but it was funny. So I sent John the text, and then it ended up calling, and he's like, "Where's this gas station at?" I was like, "John, it's literally right off of. There's a gas station at the exit." He's like, "Yeah, that's not where we went." It's like, oh.
There's like
So
3 or 4 gas stations right at that exit.
so I could tell in his voice he was already pretty frustrated as he gets. And I was like, John, I'm just gonna come meet you at the entrance
Yeah.
of the
No, did
park,
you? That was nice.
and I will go get your key for you. I will come with you to come get your key. I basically walked you to where you
Yeah.
needed to go, and it was funny because I told Amy when I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, the key is in the back, not at the front. So what does John do? As soon as he gets out
That was
of
the
his
front.
Jeep, he went to the front. Amy's like, you're supposed to go to the back. He's like, I don't know, I'm just looking. Like, John, back here, buddy. Back here. So I grabbed his key for him and I
Yeah,
hand walked him all the way to there. Well, I didn't,
that's so funny.
I just showed him where
Yeah, it was.
I was like, yours is in this area here. Where exactly? I don't know. You should be able to find that piece of it. And he just so happened to be not too far from where y'all were at.
Yeah, he was like direct, like the first. Yeah, when we were sitting at our table having coffee, I could see him.
Yeah.
Well, he took
Yeah,
off
so
to leave yesterday evening. Like they got the stuff out of our camper because they kept it there while we were wheeling. And we loaded all that up. He was like, "Yeah, we just got to grab some gas and head out." And I was like, "I heard there's a gas station about an hour south. And just let's head down that 2-lane road. You'll run into one eventually."
Yeah, maybe.
oh
That's
my gosh.
funny.
Yeah, but it was pretty comical.
Yeah.
With
And we hadn't even started
with
wheeling
that.
yet. That was just to get there.
That was just Friday night. That was just
Yeah,
Friday night.
we had a
And
lot
then
of yeah. We got in the same time as Echo and Dan. We
yeah.
all kind of got in around the same time, and then
You ran into them at Bucky's also,
mhm,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, and then I feel like people just kind of started pilfering
The one
in.
that was like 50, 60 miles or something from the place,
Yeah,
wherever that one
and then
is.
Brian got there, but we had what 14 rigs with us the first day.
I think
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
All
Close
lot.
yeah,
to it.
ranging from like TJs on 33s,
33s
YJs on 37s, to JLs and Gladys on 40s. What
and
else?
35s.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just kind of in between.
Oh
Like
yeah,
we had
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
super small to
The super big.
Carnival Cruise size. Yeah, and yeah, we had a good trip. It had thunderstorms so bad that night that we first came. So the next morning it was mud soup and it was
Oh
a
yeah.
sloppy
And that
mess, which of
that
course,
Alabama clay.
yeah, their mud is almost like sandy.
It's
So it's actually less slippery than I thought. It like had a little bit of grip in it. It was kind of crazy. But
Hmm.
yeah, so the first half of the day we did fairly easy stuff just to kind of get people acclimated, and then we started to get a little harder. What were some of your favorite things on day one?
Oh man.
Oh, we hit the badge trail. I guess we should say what we did. We hit the badge trail. Do you remember any other trail names?
One was the switchback.
All I can remember is Baldy.
So yeah, the switchback was pretty interesting. It was an extremely harder trail. Some
That was
some
that
of
red
us
one.
went up. Yeah, some of us did
crazy.
it. Some of us did not. Which is fine. It was technical and as slippery as it was, because there were several areas. It was kind of funny because the second day on our way out, when we were leaving for the day, we went up this one and it was like, oh, is that the one that we did yesterday that we were struggling on that a lot of people were having problems with? Yeah, it was. It's so so yeah, it was
Well, you're just
definitely very
definitely
slippery
different.
that first day. So even little easy stuff you would think would be easy was actually relatively challenging at some points. There really wasn't any. The second day was my favorite. Those two or three trails that we did were
Yeah,
really awesome. Um, but the first day, just hanging out and doing the. I
meeting
mean, nothing
everybody.
was overly stressful to a certain extent. Well, I guess depending on who you ask,
Right,
um,
right.
but everybody made it through no problem. We did have to winch a few, which is no issue.
Yeah.
But uh, but yeah, everybody
I
got
mean,
along
rocks
great.
are wet and they're slippery when they're wet and then have mud on them too.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
hard
think
to
y'all
get your stuff.
got a little Moab on Saturday like y'all did on Sunday. Because
Oh yeah, it
Oh,
would have
yeah,
been a
definitely
split
not.
fest.
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
definitely would have been real
Because I mean,
slippery.
Little Moab, um, I mean, it was slick even on Sunday. Just it wasn't like, but that one trail that we went up the first day that pretty much everybody had to winch. That those rocks with that mud and stuff. I mean, I almost busted my butt a bazillion times. I was scared to be walking around. So that just
Oh
went
yeah,
to
the
show
mud. Yeah, the
how,
mud was so thick it would stick to your boot,
yeah, and then wet, and then
and
the
then leave
rocks.
like you had like 4 inch
Yeah, I
heels.
know.
that clay.
Yeah, I was taller on Saturday because of all my mud blops at the bottom. But the
Yep.
ledges on that one, the rocks were just like bloop, 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 bloop. It wasn't any kind of big ledge, so I feel like that made it like super slippery.
Hmm.
It's like you couldn't get up to a ledge to grip. It was like they were all just like right on top of each other, which is great if it's dry, but if
Yeah,
it's wet, it's horrible.
but yeah, there definitely wasn't anything specific on the first day. But just getting to know the new faces,
Yeah,
and and then just hanging out.
yeah.
It was definitely
Dinner
fun.
was fun. going, and I seeing your dad and stuff. That was
Yeah, my
nice.
dad came up. He lives like 30, 40 minutes from the park, so he met up with us for dinner that night.
Yeah. And nobody broke that day, right? Like, I don't think we had any issues with anybody. Oh,
No.
we had the one guy said that he ended up having his tire came off his bead a little bit. He got that the next day.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
But I
Yeah.
feel like that's like the only kind of issue that we had, other than like you
Yeah, there
said,
was no
someone singing.
issues. Yeah.
Now,
No,
Sunday was a whole different ball game.
Sunday.
Oh, we did do
So
before Saturday night though was they were doing a night ride event. So they
Yeah.
had
yeah,
the park open at night. I can't I'm not sure what time it closed, but
midnight.
we ran and did like there was like five of us that ran and did like a 30-minute. It was about 30 minutes. We were out a little short stint, night ride. It wasn't anything major, but we did go down the hill that we were trying to climb up that first
Yeah,
on Saturday.
That's when he cut the ride because he was doing all major. He wanted to do all major roads that went through the park, no obstacles at night, so
Not
nobody
nothing
got in
major,
trouble.
but
And then when he came up to that, he was like, "Oh, wait a second." So that kind of like put a bad taste in his mouth.
Scotty's here.
oh shit. Hey,
oh,
Scotty, come sit by
Scotty,
me.
Scotty do
I almost forgot you were coming.
special guest.
Well, because we're talking about now we're on Sunday, we're talking about people breaking.
Well,
So
he was
that
with
gives
us.
you
He was
any
with
idea
us
why
on the night
Scotty's here.
ride.
Come sit down, Scotty.
Come sit down, Scotty. Hold on, I'll have to take these off though, okay? So that
Yeah,
way
that's
he
fine.
can hear through here. Okay.
Yeah, as long as y'all can hear, it'll be fine. Can you hear? Can you hear? Can you hear?
Hang on. Audio. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Okay, now I gotta change my. You can sit down. I'm clothed under here. It's like speaker.
So
Okay.
you say.
I know, right? Hold on, I'm gonna have to take off this thing too. So hold on.
Now she's not clothed because she just said she's taking something off.
Her background.
I gotta take my background off.
I don't know if you can while you're started. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, Scotty.
All right, so we're talking about Sunday, and
Well,
okay. So,
first we said the little short night ride we did.
oh yeah,
Right
Where
before you
Brian cut
walked
it
in.
short
And
because
Brian cut it.
coming up on obstacles.
The one that we tried to climb that we were having some issues. Some of us were having some problems on, and then we went down it that night.
I didn't go either because I had a couple drinks at the one place, and then it was also past my bedtime because it was
The
like
problem,
It's always past your bedtime.
the biggest problem was they were like, stick to the main roads. Well, their main roads are not main roads.
Yeah.
Their main roads do have some decent obstacles.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like our first day obstacle was actually the main road.
Yeah.
And we happened to go up it, not down. If we the first day, if we would have gone down that, we would have been fine. But
Yeah.
we took everybody up it, which everybody struggled. So because when we went down it that night,
Yeah.
everybody
It was fine.
went down it great.
Yep. Slid right down
Without
it.
any issues.
So,
Even
but
though,
we had
even
14
though
on day
Obi
one.
was like, "Oh crap! I think I just crapped my pants."
I know we were all like code brown a lot of the day. I feel like
So
David,
that was
yes.
that.
What does
in the
that
dog.
mean?
Isn't that where you poop your pants? I don't know.
Code Brown?
I think that's what it means. I don't know. I don't really know. But David rode with me on. He rode down Little Moab with us. Did he tell you about that?
Mm-mm.
I don't think he liked it.
Oh, really?
Oh.
From the top, and I'm sure his
You
head was-
John went down and you went down, and then she's like, "Well, should I just follow Brian out?" And I was like, "No, I mean, just go down with them." I said, "Unless you want to do something different,
Yeah,
David." And
David
like-
did not like
he's
it.
like, "I don't care." And then we're going down, and then we come to that last ledge. It's like, "Yeah, you're doing fine." Like as soon as you get here, let off, and then she's like, "You all right, David?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Like he was holding his breath the whole time because
Well, 'cause
it's a
his
pretty,
head was-
it's a pretty decent descent.
Oh yeah.
It's
It was-
a
Yeah,
it's a good angle.
The
And
second
it
so the
felt
first time
comfortable.
we did it, I was the way I was squared up the first time, I was more square, but that second time, because the way after we parked and the way I turned, that angle was
Yeah.
definitely a little more sketchier.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's
why
smart.
she
That
had
follows
you go
you.
first that first day because she was pointed like diagonally and would have the
Yeah.
turn on it all weird. So we had to back up to the top to go down.
Yeah.
David does not like riding with anyone.
I mean, either.
I know he's rode with me, and I'm not a bad driver. He just, I'm putting my life in your hands, and I'm like, you'll be fine, David. It's okay.
Oh,
Should have
yeah.
drove yours.
Yeah,
Should've.
so we ended up when we first left, did we have 6 or 9? How many we had the next day?
Um,
7.
No, just in general. I think we
On the
did have
second
7. I think
We
because
had
I was
maybe
number 4
7. It
both
wasn't
ways.
many.
So we went to 7, and then we did.
I was all the way in the back both days.
Yeah, I was mid both days, and then
So
Brian.
I was cleaning up. Stacy and I were cleaning up everybody's sloppies.
So I was either mid or I was let's send this dummy first and see what happens. There was a lot of that too. Like Brian's like,
Well,
you want to go up here?
Well, it was easier for you since you were in the middle than me trying to come all the way
Okay.
from the back with my land yacht.
And it was hard just to get around everybody in general too.
I wound up being a gladiator sandwich most of the time.
Yeah.
Sad.
And then okay, so we did Little Moab first. Oh yeah, we picked up a couple new friends that had some pretty cool rigs as well. So that was more of the Big Daddy. I think we had one person on. Lola's been definitely, she's missed us so bad this weekend. She's like, I don't even miss you, Scotty. I even miss you.
Scotty tastes so good.
So that was more of the big tire ride. We did have a couple on 35s and 33s, but you know, we made it work. So we did Little Moab, and Scotty was supposed to do Little Moab, and then he said he was going to do it later.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing I did wait, because I wouldn't have got to do that first trail. I would have tore the box clean off there the first time.
Yeah, his steering box was trying to separate itself from the frame.
Separated. It tried in Windrock whenever we talked about that. If you guys watched some of our other, we talk about it a lot actually. But even I could see it whenever he was moving, and his whole Jeep was like moving the other way. What is that doing? That's so bad. Can you drive that back?
That should not be doing that.
Yeah. So
really, we had if you just unbolt the steering box from the frame, then it can just free float.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Turn it, just move side to side.
You don't need a steering box. Just
he's gonna fix it here though. It looks like he brought some.
I brought like a few things to help out, but I need some bigger plate to create structure around the frame, and then there's the tube. Of course, everybody knows all Jeeps have that tube in the front, just about.
Not everybody knows that. I don't know that.
They should know. If they own a Jeep, they don't know that tube's there. They ain't a Jeeper.
I have no idea what tube he's talking
anyways, about. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to attach to that tube, because it's the main cross member on the front of the Jeep. And then I may stretch from there and do something else. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna make it where.
Well, is it TMR or TNT Customs makes the steering box relocation kit? It comes with 2 plates that you sandwich together, and it comes with a new cross member, and then new plates for both sides of the frame.
Right.
And it like sleeves on the top and the bottom of the frame, and that's where your steering box goes, and then you can move your axle forward.
And then also, what's weird about a YJ, and I think it's just the YJs only, the sway bar is part of the steering bracket. So the steering box attaches to a bracket. The bracket goes on the frame, and then on the bottom of that bracket, half of the sway bar goes in that. So,
well, I mean, the sway bar delete. You don't need that anyway.
Oh yeah, that's
what trail were we on that you did that on? I don't even remember.
It was the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock Creek, or that was Rock Creek.
Or up the hill.
That was one that the first roll on one we did.
Oh, that was like Bootlegger or something.
Yeah, that was bootleg.
Yeah.
Bootleg,
yeah. Don't ask me names because I don't remember. I don't remember names anymore.
I'm terrible with that. But yeah, so we did pick up kind of a rock bouncer buggy named Danny Richardson. Hi, Danny.
He was
so fun, and he
He was awesome.
Ride in his buggy to go up that buggy hill. I think that's what they called it, or bouncer hill, something like that.
Something like that.
We were
Yeah.
so damn close to making it, and then Dustin will have to post a picture
Some pretty good ledges.
because I don't know what it is about me and people breaking drive shafts around me really badly. But we got almost all the way up.
Disclaimer, he did have a loose bolt that did not help the
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Oh my gosh, like I feel terrible. But he let me ride in there. And then of course now I want one so incredibly bad it's not even funny. Like I kind of want to just take mine up it and
Well,
go.
you have to choose
Which
between the buggy or the XJ that's all exoskeleton and crazy.
why
and
can't I make an XJ that's kind of like a buggy?
you can?
Like that truck one, that one was pretty cool.
They're a pretty good platform. You just start putting a bunch of
Because when I get an XJ anyway, I'm gonna take all the metal off of it anyway. Why have that on there? Except that poor little.
Okay, say when she's getting an X, when she gets an XJ, that's not happening.
We're not doing that.
There's the truth.
My words.
We're
That's
not,
what Listen
we're
says.
not doing that.
It will happen. I don't know when. But after Scotty, after that bootleg, Scotty was broken and Danny was broken. His son Corbin was still driving his other TJ because they have like a zillion Jeeps. So
they bent the steering. Yeah.
So Scotty and Danny, Sunday was a festive.
Sunday was fun.
Sunday was carnage.
Well, Stacy did have a good little conversation with Danny though after the fact. It was kind of funny. Stacy.
So Danny and Scotty needed to bring their Jeeps back, and then Obi, also known as Joe, but Obi won. He was in a TJ on 33s.
On 33s.
Yeah. So he was just kind of like, okay, this is sketchier shit than I want. I'm gonna go ahead and go home now.
Wait, y'all missed part of it. When y'all missed in the middle of the trail, the tree fallen.
That was the next.
That was
that was that one.
Because when we stopped.
Yeah, no. That was that one. I thought it was because it was the
trail I was on.
It was the first trail. Yeah.
So the poor Dan and
hit Dan.
It's spelled different. He's at the little 4XC. He is one of the guys that came on his first ride with us, and he had just gotten his Jeep. Like it had paper.
He just bought it, yeah.
Like the week before. It's fine. So
well, it definitely got broken in this weekend.
Yes,
on Sunday.
We were stopped, yeah. And it was Brian and then Dan and then it was Corbin and then me right behind Corbin. And I just out of the corner of my eye see this monster
creek.
It did not. I didn't hear a creek.
Y'all heard the creek, yeah.
You guys heard a creek. I didn't hear a creek.
We were all the way in the back.
I heard it slam onto the car.
No, I heard the crack.
I didn't hear it actually.
I did not. Yeah. It literally was just flying through the air. So I start screaming because I don't know where he's at, and where it looked like it looked like it was going on his top, and he has one of those retractable soft tops. And I'm talking it
was big
tree, like bigger around than me, a big tree,
just about that much of it caught his front fender.
Front fender, broke two clips and broke the.
It was
broke around the DRL.
Had a whole damn tree fall on them.
You know what that's from, right?
That's rain.
That's karma. Him running. he's always joking super hard.
Poor guy. And his girlfriend wasn't with him because she had a migraine.
I think
she stayed back.
He left the trail right after that. He literally left the trail.
He fits in with us so good. He is such a shit talker.
Dan's a great guy.
Yeah. So he can heckle. Yeah, we heckle each other nonstop. But I'm gonna heckle him a little bit about the tree. But I was just glad he was alive because.
Oh, you need to make a duck tree or something.
Because I just knew that he was going to be smashed by this stupid ass tree. But
us all the way in the back, when we saw it, we were like, "Oh crap! What just?"
Yeah.
Who did it just hit?
That we're trying to find a video, but I think my stupid wolf box. I don't think my SD card was formatted, so
I'll have to look up. I believe I have my GoPro going on my dash.
I hope so.
So even though I was so far back, I could probably, as long as it recorded.
It was like slow freaking. I mean, I don't know what my yelling was gonna do, but
I don't know. You do that a lot. Sylvia does do that a lot.
I do. I'm like, oh, this. I was like, ah, like, what's it gonna do? At least I didn't yell.
Absolutely nothing. It just makes you feel better. That's all.
Yeah, so,
It makes you feel like you did something.
yeah. So obviously that trail was a bad trail.
That trail was awesome.
You broke, and then, or no, you broke. Were you before or after? You were broke when you got to the top. So I don't know when you.
I
broke.
was
Somewhere on that trail.
somewhere on the trail. It got bad, and then I got to the top. One last little spot to climb, and I noticed that when I tried to turn, it was not happening. So that's when I was like, we'll go up there and get a sandwich, see what's going on. I get out, and I can almost see through one of the bolt areas of the frame. And then I had David move the steering wheel back and forth, and it was literally going like this.
Yeah,
the frame was like twisting in.
Yeah, the tires weren't moving at all, and I was moving the steering wheel over a half a turn. So
yeah, it was bad.
I was done.
So so we go.
I'm sure the 37s on the non-reinforced it didn't help anything, but
Probably not.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with Piper. Justin, look at Piper.
We can't see her. Oh, but
this cat that hates people is also on Scotty right now. See, they're all just really depressed because we've been gone. They just will take attention. She's okay.
So she does the same thing that my sister,
she's
Ruru cat does. They get off the claws
yeah.
right. It's like,
well,
love me.
Love me.
The picture that I have here behind me, while we were sitting there waiting, this was after the tree fell.
After the tree.
So I was like, oh, this is a pretty sweet flexi spot. And it's all twisted. The back's one way, the front's the other way. And I was like, all right, cool. Stacy, hand me your phone while everybody's still sitting and kind of putting along. I was like, let me get some pictures. Well, if you notice in the picture how it kind of slants a little bit more.
Yeah.
The front drops and then the other side slants up a little bit more. Well,
there's a reason for that.
You messed up your
thing? So as I'm driving, the passenger side's dropping a little more in the hole, and the passenger side's dropping, and the driver's coming up. Yeah, I broke like 3 or 4 clips on the back end of my fender because the tire was rubbing on that trim. It was really bad. Then one of the other times we stopped after I got off of it, I was like, yeah, let me just go look to see what I had done to the fender, and I thought I just pulled the clips out. So I pushed the clips back in. Oh, it's funny. He kept telling the face.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because
he's rubbing my cat in front of my husband. I know. Weird.
Anyway,
anywho,
she's so
broken fender clips.
So I thought I just pulled the clips out, but I found out later it ended up breaking 3 of them. But the DRLs that I have are the Rugged Ridge fender delete DRL lights. Well, there's the bottom of it's a metal plate that the light sits on top of, and then another plate that kind of mounts to the underside of the fender. Well, there's a little wing that hangs off the back corner. Yeah, that sucker, it's supposed to be like this. It was like this. So that tire caught it and folded a good 2 to 3 inches. Yeah, it went from this.
Not happy. It was not happy at all. No, very sad.
So, I should have grabbed Stacy's phone and take a picture of it, but I didn't. Of course, I didn't.
He's sitting there trying to get off the trail out of that spot, and he's like, "It's just a plastic piece," and I was like, "That don't sound right." And it's both sides, and he's like, "It's just a plastic piece," and I was like, "Dude, that was the other side rubbing. This is this side, and it sounds pretty bad." He's like,
"Oh, it was bad."
Just a plastic piece.
And it wasn't just like, a foot or 2 of just travel. No, it was every bit of 10, 15 feet of in the fender. And so I had to go grab some channel locks so I could bend that joker back. So I was like, yeah.
Probably need to do that inside fender delete deal.
We're gonna have to do new fenders. They just got moved up on the list.
Every time we're on a damn
well,
trail,
I mean, in the meantime though, you could get rid of you could trim out that excess part.
I can trim that, but it still caught the DRL bracket.
Yeah, can't do nothing about the bracket.
Well, you could move the DRL up inside of the fender, have a hole out for it.
Well, we would have to do. Well, Scotty would have to do some magic to
Scotty
make
loves
that
magic.
work.
I love it.
Okay, so we're on
Yeah.
Blue Lake Hill, and we're driving up, and he let me in it, and it took. I have never been strapped in like that, and he just like
5-point harness.
it's like he knew me because he was like, "I need you to hold on like this and keep your arms inside." And I'm like, "Yeah," because that is something that I've really had to work with myself. Is I can't catch my thing from falling. So the whole time I'm like this. I don't move on. Like I go like this to Scotty really quick when he's taking my. But other than that, I'm like this, and I know I'm in there so tight that I'm trying to look at the back tire and you
can't see nothing. You can't move.
Shit,
No,
If you're strapped in, you can't move.
no, I don't know what I'm gonna do
That's,
whenever I have
that's
that.
the whole point.
I guess you just go like you don't
You're gonna
care.
keep your ass strapped in so you don't fall out of the
That's the
Jeep.
whole point of a rock bouncer. You just
It was so
skin-
flipping awesome.
skinny pedal and hope it stays straight.
No, that sounds exactly
Yeah.
what I need.
There is no looking. You just pick a line and go.
He's
So,
like, "That tree
yeah.
up there."
So
He
we
said-
bounced
He
it
said
the
he was
first time.
when I was talking to him. He said I was just gonna take the right line because that's the better line anyway. And then she got in there and said she never had to strap into a 5-point harness before. So I thought, well, screw it, I'll take the left line and have a little fun. You really get her bouncing up there, and
And
then
then
rips the drive shaft out, and like, man.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
didn't have to-
The drive shaft was still attached. It just had a crook in it.
yeah,
was
we'll
fun.
have
It
to
literally
show you that
twisted
picture.
in half like a
I
pretzel.
have never in my life seen a dry. I've never seen that happen. I mean, he said he's actually done one worse than that to where it bent like all the way around to where it was pulling that whatever.
I
the hell it's
twisted
called.
one in half in an old pickup truck of mine one time.
No, it was crazy. So,
Well,
so
when
yeah,
I showed
that
him,
trail. Go ahead.
well, when I showed him the picture of, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is about the moment
That it was stunk.
that it happened.
Stacy
And-
was right there, ground level, like to the point where I was like, Stacy, you might want to
No,
move
wait,
because
he was gonna get got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm sorry if I almost hit you. I was like, you're not gonna hit me. Like I've almost been hit several times being the photographer, but
I
you're
hate
not
you
gonna
with
hit.
flying drive shaft parts.
Don't try that at home,
Yeah.
kids. We're not sometimes the most safety conscious. Don't pay attention to us.
So
You gotta
he
turn-
was in yeah, whatever. So he's like, yeah, that's probably. I said, do you remember when I said you're hitting your arm? He's like, well, I wasn't worried about my arm. I was worried about the drive shaft. And I was like, look, and I was showing him the pictures and we walked back and he was like, oh, you know, when I backed up, when you said I was on my arm and I wasn't worried about the arm, I was worried about the drive shaft. And I said, yeah. He's like, and then I backed up and I just rammed it. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I bounced right there. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, he's like, it's all for a show, right? I was just
Yep,
giving
it's
you
a good show.
a show. And I was like, yeah. He's like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
But we were getting up, and then I feel like that's when his bumper hit that rock, and I feel like that's when it pounced back in it.
Yeah, so he bounced up, and then when he
was
when he,
so
when he,
cool.
when he got to the point
Yeah.
to start to climb again, it was so tall that he had just run his bumper right into it and it stopped him dead.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's the
Anyway,
He bounced
Tom
over so
Woods, if
far.
you're watching this, make sure to warranty Danny's
Help
drive
him.
shaft, please.
Because he did it for a good cause. I was a good cause. he was
He was not mad or upset. But when he got to the top and climbed underneath it, when he winched himself up, he had a bolt loose. He even said if that bolt was not loose, it probably wouldn't have happened.
well, and then I feel like he's kind of like most of the guys. I feel like whenever there's guys that are in stuff like that, or like our guys, they don't get super bent out of shape because they probably built it themselves anyway. So, they're like, it's fine. I can fix it. Like, it's just, I mean, it sucks, but it's
Then
just
I'll be
fun.
back on the trail
And he
on Sunday.
had worked at Busted Knuckle right down the road for a little while.
Mhm.
And then, so he's very mechanically inclined. So he's like, yeah, this is going to suck. It's money, but at least I can fix it. I don't have to like dump it off at a shop or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like guys like that are usually a little bit more calm than,
Yeah.
I feel like even us daily drivers are still fairly calm just because, I mean, I'm calm because as I was telling Scotty, I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but I'm like, that's probably my biggest red flag is that I don't care because I know you guys can fix everything. So
Except for your
I'm
power
like, don't
steering.
worry about nothing.
Except for your power steering that keeps
I know.
going in and out.
Actually, David and Dustin were talking about that the other day. Dustin has some ideas he's going to start with, but
Well, I also have an
Anyway.
idea because it's happening every single day
I didn't
now.
have power steering the whole way home. Today.
Oh
So
wow.
just drop it off at Cross and let them have it. Because it is under warranty. It's only got 25,000 miles on it.
It's not under that warranty. It's under the other warranty, the extended. It's got
Warranty's
30.
warranty.
Yeah. Anyway, so we went from 7, and
They
then
should be
we
able to replicate the problem now, though.
go over there and kick him because he's literally right there.
Yeah.
7, and then we three Jeeps got left back in the parking lot, and then we picked up another one, a kid named Garrett, and he is like a kid. He is young, and he's like some kind of like master fabricator welder guy, again at Busted Knuckle, and he had this like shitbox XJ that he
It was pretty nice.
literally beat to shit, and he was so fun. His poor little girlfriend. It was so cold, and then they didn't have a windshield. They didn't have nothing. So I thought he broke down because his hood was open. No, he was getting warm.
Yeah.
I was like,
hands up.
I'm like, kid, jump in my like minivan up here. Like I got heat. It's enough, Bentley. So, but yeah, we should have more XJs in the group because they are flipping fun. So he goes tearing up little Moab. It was like probably like this, and he just kept sitting and then he just
well, after he tore up that mud hill time and time again.
I got a good video of that, and I did put it in our
Oh, it took him like 4 or 5 tries, but he made it. He would back all the way. This was a long hill, and he would back all the way back down. I think at one point I saw almost 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was 28 on ours. Yeah.
I think 20 or 29. Yeah.
It was so cool.
Because I know when I was going up, it kept flickering back and forth to a different angle. But I think it was right at 29, 30.
Yeah.
It was just between 28 and 30. It was a couple of degrees, right?
It was freaking steep.
But he tried like 4 or 5 times before he finally made it. He basically dug himself a diff rut. He would get hung up on his diff and lose momentum. It'd slow him down, and then he'd back down. But every time he kept like going, he was going faster and faster going up the hill.
30 degrees, yeah.
Yeah, skinny 33s.
And then did he have locker? Did he have a rear locker, or did he have front lockers too?
I'm gonna have to think he welded that thing.
Yeah,
he probably welded the spider gears and put a 1/4-inch plate on both sides of the carrier.
We'll have to ask Garrett if you watch this. Tell us what you did. You have to watch it.
Did you see? Did you after they left from us? They went and played a little bit more. Did you see the picture Danny posted?
Yeah.
It was so inverted.
That
was funny. Yeah.
But so then we went, well, I guess that was before the mud hill, but we went on Rock Creek or something, or
Rock Creek.
Yeah. And so
that was exciting.
Yeah. So that one
that was a lot of fun.
Big stuff. Yeah, that was another one that Brian was like, you could tell he like really wanted to go, but he was also like, I also don't want to tear up my shit and tear up everybody else's shit. So let's have Sylvia go, because Sylvia is an idiot, and if she dies, then we'll not go. So
like he didn't even like start to turn into the trail. Like he just pulled straight up.
Just wait. Go on.
The entrance on the left, and then he's like, anybody one of the bigger Chiefs want to come up and go first?
I mean, it was
it was. I mean, it's a red trail.
So, but I know because Brian had said yesterday, and I'm sure he'll talk about it next week, is that's not really like his style of wheeling yet, like that's just not what he
does. I think he was a little. I think we kind of pushed. We definitely pushed him.
But the smile on his face, and at the very end, just like, and that's what I feel like it always is. Anytime you do something like that, even though you're scared, and then you look back on it, the sense of accomplishment that you did it, even if you were literally
after he got up to the top of Little Moab, like he was just grinning ear to ear.
Because his confidence level wasn't great starting out on that, and I was coaching him where to go and how to get it up there. And then when he finally made it, I was like, "You got to bump it a little bit harder," and he did, and he made it up.
But if you don't know what bump, and that's why I was trying to talk to Dustin yesterday, is because you're always screaming at me about being in first gear, not getting in second, but especially whenever I'm starting out, I didn't know that I could start in second. There's things like that I just don't know, and until I know, but also and I probably shouldn't be doing it with Danny's, but his bump feels a whole lot different than my bump. So I don't feel like some of my things I'm even bumping enough because I think that I might be too afraid. I always tell Dustin I'm always afraid I'm going to somehow blow up my engine. I don't know why I would think that,
Well,
but
sit in first gear as long as you do.
well, I know, but I'm afraid like if I start in a higher gear,
Like
and
that video of the hill you going up Interlake, like
I promise you,
Oh,
we're all
6,000
screaming.
RPM, like it was
Chip,
screaming.
chip, chip.
but it's
Oh,
only like
even
3 or
even on
4,000
the
RPM. Like I feel like that's not even that bad. It never redlines
even on the meet and greet.
ever.
On the meet and greet ride, there was one hill that she was screaming that she didn't shift in the second. She stayed in first.
So yeah. So I think I'd rather just stay in second. I don't think I want to
Yeah,
even
second gear.
start.
Second
But I
gear
didn't know
is a
I could
good
start.
climbing
I didn't know
gear.
I could
Yeah,
just be in second, and that's okay. But also like
it's
the
geared low enough with when you're in 4 low that yeah, you can start in second
but I
gear.
also like the bump, because I'm like, is this a bump or is this I'm gonna deploy my airbags? And his bump yesterday on the buggy was way different than my bump.
Well,
Oh well,
I
yeah,
want to
his
do
I
that
mean,
bump.
way different than yours
you
too.
don't be trying that level of bump yet because you're gonna break some stuff.
You will definitely break
Okay.
some stuff
I know, but I feel like that was the right level of bump.
for his
Well,
Jeep,
for him on that situation,
not for
that's
your
not
Jeep.
like, oh, bump it and then you do that level of bump on everything. That's not a good plan.
Well, anyway, so I can see why maybe Brian doesn't realize what the bump is because he hasn't felt that bump yet. And now I guess I got to go back to not. She's trying to get the cat because the cat gave her a little side eye. Now Lola wants to eat her face, and Piper will murder her with her murder mittens.
And with the bump too, also trying to teach people to do the brake load.
Yeah.
Because you want to brake load on some stuff.
And I didn't know you could do that in second gear.
Yeah, you can. You can brake load. So when you brake load and then when you let out of the brake, everything's loaded up. And when you go, it's ready to there's no unload as you're reloading to climb something. Everything's already twisted where it needs to go, and you got all the traction where it needs to be at, and you just go right on.
And that's what I told Dustin too. Is sometimes I don't feel like I actually give it enough. It's what he's saying is it's like a brake torque where you're on the gas and the brake at the same time, and then you gotta let off the brake but smash the gas too. But then you don't want to smash the gas. It's just a whole lot of trying to figure out
finesse.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like a whole lot of just trying to figure out what to do that's not going to break everything that you own. So,
well, that first time when we went up to Little Moab that morning, when I was going up, there was a section where my wheels were spinning, and then all of a sudden it caught because I had to do a good decent little bump to get up. Wheels were spinning, and it hit a grip patch, and it literally slingshotted me up the hill. I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I think I was watching that when you finally bounced up, you unloaded your suspension so far. And then when you set back down, I was like,
you saw it jump.
Yeah, it's just like
was that in the morning or in the afternoon?
The morning.
Yeah.
I was still surprised in the afternoon. I felt like you went a weird way because you spun.
I was on a different line.
And then I was like, did Thomas just spin?
Yeah, he did.
What the hell?
He got hung up on it.
I was on a different. I was in a different line, and it was catching either control arm or diff.
He was catching the rear passenger control.
And so I had to move over to the left to the driver's side.
What's going on over there?
As soon as I was able to get over another foot and a half, I crawled right up.
His tires were done for the day.
Yeah,
Tires were over it.
Done.
No, I was
should have had the Furies on there.
I was extremely impressed with the Mickeys, though. I was extremely impressed with those suckers bit and climbed. Well, Danny, I've been talking to Danny through Facebook on some of the posts, and he was actually he really enjoyed watching me drive the Gladiator through there. He said he was impressed. It was pretty funny.
It's like a Jeep on stilts, just picking the top of the rocks and rolling on. Like you didn't spin at all except for on little Moab. That's about it.
Oh, but yeah, the first day, the one that everybody was struggling on, of course, I was number 15 in the chute, and everybody was struggling. They pointed at a direction because of one, I was originally gonna try the far left side that you tried first, Sylvia, and then they were like, "No, go right here." So, and then I just like crawled up it, and they were like, "Oh no, you got to redo that."
You know what
did I do?
Wheelbase had a lot to do with that too. Like
it did because
that day I should have went back once that rock got kicked out. Because when I kicked out the rock and under.
Well, part of your problem on your Sylvia because of the wheelbase, You were literally trying, your front was trying to climb the same time your back was trying to climb. So, and as slick as it was, that's the reason why you were having such a hard time. Where my back end was in a completely different zip code than my front end.
Yeah.
So
Every time.
Every time.
All at the ocean.
I said that whole park was made for gladiators, I feel like. Other than like some of
the
the
switchbacks.
There was some tight
Yeah.
those
switchback
switch.
turns.
I wish that you would have made it up the one that we went where your leaf
I
springs got
wanted
you
to do that so
because that going up I felt like was fine, but those
They-
switchbacks were sketchy as crap.
Day 2, he probably would have. It wasn't as muddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably could have knocked out another 5 pounds,
Well, and I watched the video again too.
at least 3 to 4 pounds of air pressure.
Definitely. I was running roughly around 10. We're not sure. But like the first day, I thought I felt it slide back. So I let out instead of staying in it, because if you stay in it and it goes backwards while you're in it, you could get in a really bad situation. So I let out of it. Now I watched the video again. I was like, man, I should have just stayed in it. It might have went, because I couldn't tell where my back tire was over there. I do this photographic picture of where I'm at kind of and get a judgmental, and then go ahead and, of course, leaf springs, it's bouncing. You're not actually molding around the rocks. You're bouncing over them. But yeah, so I let out, and I probably would have made it the first time. And then the 2 times I tried it again, I should have just backed all the way up and just hit it again, but I didn't. I figured I could get up it, but then I backed all the way down and hit it and went right on up. So I need to get rid
Make
of
another trip.
We gotta go back. Like,
Oh, we are definitely
When
going
it's
back.
not
I really liked that part. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was a nice part.
It's been like 5 hours.
and we barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't hardly get into anything.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
what Garrett said. Next time we come back, we might
Yeah.
need more of like you have to have this stuff to come back, like make it like a smaller group again with the more, because he's like, you want to do some crazy stuff? Yeah, yes, I do. Please.
Let's do
That's
it.
why I want to come and do that. We're gonna need Patrick to come because I'm gonna need a spot on a trailer. Patrick.
I might.
Someone's gonna need an also ride on a trailer home. Okay.
Hey, I sent you a tow dolly
Did you? I haven't
on
looked yet.
Messenger.
I'd like to find me a decent tow dolly that's.
It's 2019, and I think it's
Alexa, shut
$400
up.
bucks.
How much?
I think it's $400,
That's not bad.
and it's the wheels in the front of the other wheel, like your.
In tow dolly.
You're geese outside.
Because you
Pull it up on your phone.
No, it's a car alarm.
Oh,
It's the honk.
like a DOT.
You-
thing.
Somebody's
you
horn.
get not
Pretty
having a
sure I've
DOT
heard
rated towing apparatus.
That's
Is that
dumb.
Messenger or
Yeah.
right?
But I'm trying to think of what else.
It was the horn.
So then, but yeah, so we gave all those people away. Oh, and then so then Danny was driving the TJ. Then he bent that as well.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
It has the stock steering on it, and he's running a 37,
Oh.
and I think he just got it twisted up really bad. Of course, reason why mine's not
I
bent
think he
is
was
'cause
on
my-
that. I think it was that one first ledge that I kept saying that his tire was looking really bad there.
Yeah,
Because your steering box just ripped out instead of bending.
Yeah. it was doing this all day, so it
Yeah.
was gonna bend up the stock steering. So yeah, it was. I might bend it now.
But yeah, there was
Yeah.
some that last one was kind of crazy.
I think it's even got a brake on it.
Mhm.
It's got a hydraulic brake when you hit when you hit your brakes.
Yeah,
it
it's like a
lunges.
surge brake.
Yeah, mhm.
It's pretty cool.
It's got Carlisle tires on it.
I know,
Right.
it's really cheap, and so like the other ones I see were like $1,200-$1,300, but they were a lot newer. But I
Of
mean,
course, the 2,000-pound car trailer is definitely worse in gas mileage.
Yeah, I run fourth and fifth gear. Fourth gear, I was just over 4,000. I'm trying to do 70 in the rain. About
Up lots of hills.
up and down lots of hills. So 4,000 to 4,500 in fourth gear. Fifth gear, like 3,100 to 3,500. And on the way home, like we drove a little slower.
We were doing between 60 and 65 on the way back.
And I was actually able, when I got closer to Louisville, I went ahead and took it. I started doing manual about probably 100 miles out. And I went ahead and went to sixth gear, and it didn't do too bad. But like, you when you go up a gear going downhill, you get more gas mileage. But when you're trying to
Yeah.
climb one, I was getting somewhere around 6 on the dial. But by the time everything's said and done, the whole weekend, about 10 miles per gallon in the Gladiator.
Pulling the
Pulling
YJ
the YJ on a full size trailer. Yeah.
When we got home in
That's really not bad.
Armada, yeah, it was 10.7 average, I think, on that pull, and it's a V8 full
Yeah.
size,
And David, so when I needed to stop for gas at a 3/4 tank, David had 3/4 of a tank of gas left. I had a quarter tank of gas left. And it was funny, on the way home, we actually hit all the Buc-ee's on the way.
That's funny.
Nice.
Because I know.
Yeah, I think
Is there
there is
2 or 3? Yeah.
2 or 3. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Trying to think anything else super memorable. This morning Dustin was not. He loved our camper all weekend. Because everybody else had like those not extremely nice, amenities.
Ours was actually decent. It wasn't bad.
We were very happy in the camper all weekend until this morning, whenever their water froze. And it was like 1 degree out, and Dustin is still cold, I think.
I honestly wish
that's why the fire in the back.
Honestly wished I'd have brought my air mattress, because
no, don't step on
because the bunk I was in was probably designed for a young, small person.
Oh, maybe.
So my feet
Scotty's head and his feet were touching the wall.
Touching the wall. I was literally braced between the wall.
Scotty was holding the room up
together.
The poor pad that I was sleeping on, it was actually worse.
You didn't put David up there.
Experience.
Yeah, why didn't you put David? David's short.
I know, right? David's like, I'm taking the couch over here. And I'm like, that's cool. I'll take this up here. I said, I'm switching you tomorrow. And he runs in there and like rolls up and lays down on it. And I was like,
and why didn't you get Stacy out of the bed? Because I would have said, David, get your ass up there.
And I didn't know Michael had a pretty plush mattress, but when he laid down in it, he looked like a bowling ball sitting on the floor. He's just like
formed around.
I mean, he couldn't roll over, and then he tried to talk about us snoring, but he snores pretty good too. So
I don't know. Me and State. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't hear
nobody,
any of y'all when we were on the other side of the trailer. I didn't hear any of y'all until after I got up.
I think Michael heard everybody snoring. I think he even heard.
Why didn't he bring ear plugs? He knows better.
I'm surprised he didn't bring his CPAP mask and stuff too. But
I didn't pack mine this weekend.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to roll over with. I mean, I prefer muffs over the plugs, but still, it's weird in your ear while you're trying to sleep.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we had a pretty great week. And
well, one plus about
we're in an hour and like 5 minutes or something.
Okay. One of the perks about the cabins there, though, is so we checked in Friday and we're checking out on Sunday. But with all of us trying to figure out where we're going to put our stuff when we checked out, I went and talked to them Saturday evening before they closed, and I was like, "So we're willing to buy on Sunday all day." I said, "I'll even pay extra if we can just leave our stuff in the room until we get done and then leave for the day." And they're like, she pulled up her computer. She's like, "Oh, there's nobody checking in. You're good." So they let us keep all of our stuff there, and we didn't leave till after 6 o'clock that night. One of the workers, he drove up when they were doing their cabin checks. He's like, "Just make sure, if you don't mind, will you put the AC sitting at this point on the thermostat, so at least some heat's blowing, but it's not overheating." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem." So, and of course, we swept it out, made sure all our trash was out, and adjusted the thermostat where he had asked me to. But yeah, it
Lolame.
But basically, it's just a place to sleep while you're out on the trail. So, and for the price and being right there on the trail, it was.
Right.
That's what I was telling Dustin. I'm like, I got up at 6 a.m. because that's what I do. But usually then I'm still in a panic trying to make sure that we're going to be able to leave in 30 minutes or whatever it's going to take us to drive. And I'm like, this is so weird that our driver's meeting is at 9 and I'm not leaving the camper till 9:50. And I'm still early.
Yeah. Yeah, so it worked out really good. So yeah,
I'm
next
thinking
time
that
we
that's
go,
how
we're definitely going to be
S'more is.
staying there again.
I went ahead. You have to like email for the s'more one. You have to like type in what you want, and then they email you a confirmation. So I just did mine yesterday. You guys
Okay.
might get them too.
Yeah, they don't have they just have RV sites. I
No,
don't know if they
they
though they
have it.
actually have cabins. Oh,
They're not. They're
they're
more.
not dog.
They hold like 8 people.
Yeah.
Oh, you
And
guys
I
remember?
don't
I forgot. You
and
guys
I don't
are.
think they're
I forgot. You
yeah,
guys
we're
are.
staying with John and
Yeah,
Amy.
but you guys are you
They
guys
got
going?
an Airbnb.
No, yet. If
Um,
you guys go, you all need to get on that too.
And it's only like 15, 20 minutes from where the Airbnb is to the park.
Yeah, but they
I
have
need-
park ones
I need a tow dolly, and I need to get the YJ fixed again.
before May. We
before
can do
May.
it.
That's plenty of time.
That's so much.
Into
time.
May. Into
I
May.
They
fixed,
don't take credit card. You have to have cash. Yes.
I fixed the YJ in 3.5 days, right before we left. The
Mhm.
weekend before we left.
And only
So-
one
I mean,
time.
if you order one of those wide open design tube chassis, we could probably get that swapped all
Yeah, we were
over
talking
before then, before May.
when we were talking about the stitches last week, that's them.
Yeah, they're right here.
He did really good, except on either Saturday or Sunday, and he wasn't wearing gloves. And then
Those are probably ready to
bumped
cut
it.
out of there.
Yeah.
well,
no,
he was leaving
well-
them in a little bit longer because he busted it open.
No,
the other day.
they need to come out tonight. So the first one actually it dried up and pulled through the skin. So the other two are still holding, but they're loose. So it's actually
I got the
it's ready to
scissors
go.
somewhere.
We'll just snip them and pull them and just hope we don't pull a knot through the other side.
I'll just cut the knot off like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 7 to 10 days. You're a week out, so they're good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it is a week.
it is a week.
Exactly, practically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the
You can-
hour.
We can use the side cutters out in the garage to cut them out of there.
Why don't you just use a blowtorch? Just melt them.
They just melt them out.
They look like they'd melt.
And it'll cauterize the wound. We could have just cauterized it.
Just cauterize it.
Yeah, I mean,
If you watch
Oh my
any
goodness.
action movies where they do their own stitches and stuff, that's kind of where I felt like it was. I was like, I've
You-
watched John Wick and I've watched what's that other one, Preacher or Reacher?
Reacher.
He
Yeah.
always is doing himself, or
You-
Patrick Swayze.
You seemed excited but super nervous when I was like, just stitch me up, sis.
Well, I had a drink, a
Yeah,
big one,
a big one.
and it had been years since I even looked at that damn thing. But it was fine because TikTok saved his life. On the 1 minute drive over to Walgreens, I went ahead and just refreshed my memory.
oh, so the truth comes out now.
That was
We didn't hear about that until just now, a week later.
So I watch a 1 minute video because I don't have time for anything else. And I type in like stitch tutorial and it brings up sewing. I'm like, I already know that. Like, I already know that one. And then yeah, so I had to type in like suture. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I remember this now. And then it was better. But thank God they hadn't got rid of the TikTok ban yet. 'Cause
Well, they got rid
I
of it for
would've-
like a half hour and then it was back again.
I'm like,
So-
I don't have the attention span for more than 1 minute right now. And I have like a 1 minute drive to Walgreens to get the crap, the sterilization shit, and then get back. And then I was ready. But we needed to go
Oh,
then
too
before I
funny.
forgot.
That's funny because the look on your face when you grabbed the saline wash and you squirted it and it blew.
It
the
was
paper-
like a freaking fire
it
hose.
blew the paper towel across the table.
And I
She
knew I was
like-
gonna have to put that in his
I was
in
like,
his
just
cut. I was like,
do
oh
it.
my god, that's gonna. So I tried to like,
ease it in.
try to
Yeah.
ricochet off my hand and blow it back.
I was like, just do it. Just get it
I'm
out of
sure OSHA or something would have been really mad.
there.
OSHA.
I don't think OSHA would have cared.
No, they
Whoever it
wouldn't
is that
care.
gets
They would have
mad.
cared when he was out there cutting it off out there in the shop. They wouldn't have cared after the fact.
No.
Well, whoever. But it's funny.
They only care what caused the injury, not the
Yeah, not the
aftermath
injury itself.
of what happens after the injury.
Well,
Yeah.
If hairdressing,
That's workman's
I
comp.
could probably.
That's work-
we don't have that here.
We'll buy a
Oh
helicopter
damn!
to save people in the woods.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind
Because
of
we
fun.
can't get out of the woods. No way.
It's crazy. That place you can. That is just to tell you guys on how some of the sketchy shit is at Stoney Lonesome that we didn't even get into that much.
Mhm.
Is that they have, what do they call them? What zones?
Landing zone.
Landing zones.
Yeah, they have
And
landing zones.
like at
Two
first,
wet
it's like,
zones.
oh, that means like this is where you all like land together and get all your shit together and figure out where you're going next. No, it's helicopter landing zones with
Yeah.
a phone.
Yeah.
Because, and they're like, what, 8 of them?
There's-
8 or
yeah, I
9?
think-
8 or
I think
9.
A lot.
I think there's 8.
Pretty much by anything really bad.
They got a call box.
Mhm.
You push a button, and then it reverts back to whoever, and then you got flight staff come out and pick up if it's that bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
amazing.
neat.
I've never.
I just assume though for something minor that they've got somebody in the area that has a helicopter and they'll just fly in and land and pick you up and take you back to the front.
And you're like, I got a splinter in my finger. Need help. They're flying in.
It's,
Toss
it's
it out
a
of the
tree
park.
fell on a soft top type
Oh yeah.
get them the hell out.
Can you imagine what?
Well, the thing is, I mean, in that spot where you're at, that'd have been an hour to get back to the front office.
Right. And we've had that before in an emergency with John's daughter, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we were at PA.
Where we were at the far end of freaking Roush Creek and she had an asthma attack and it was definitely getting bad. And we didn't have she forgot her inhaler and it was just a whole thing. And I mean, it was really scary. And then once you got to the front, you're still 20 minutes from civilization at that point.
Right.
So yeah, like that's a really, I don't know, that was something I really, really liked about this park too. It's just because sometimes we do some crap that, and my helmet, Dustin bought me a helmet for my
Why
birthday.
hasn't that showed up yet?
It's supposed to be here tomorrow now, apparently.
I was
That's
hoping
the
it was
weather.
going to be before we went on a run.
It's been traveling through the network at the United States Postal Office for several days.
Yeah.
The network.
Before we left, I did pickups for 2 or 3 people. Go down.
Yeah. Well, I kept checking it because we were going to message you like, hey,
I had
it's
2 things I
there.
wanted you to bring. I wanted you to bring my helmet and that little chainsaw thing, and neither
Yeah.
of them came.
I was
And it
like,
still didn't update. And then we were laying in bed that night and I checked and it's like, oh, it's still in freaking Lexington. Like, it's nowhere even close. And then it got here and then it moving through the network, for 3 days now. And it still says moving through the network, but it does say estimated delivery tomorrow. So we'll see.
These two over here.
Could be another week.
These two over here are cage fighting. So that's what that kind of loud noise is. But
although Wavy could put her whole head in her mouth.
oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Every once in a while she does get mad. We have to tell her to calm her shit. Don't bite your sister. But then Lola literally hangs by her cheek.
Yeah. She'll grab her cheek and just
Like
pull
that's
on like tug of war.
but
Waverly's
yeah,
pretty patient, though.
what else do we have anything else coming up like in the next week? I don't think
Nope.
so.
Cold weather.
Yeah.
It's going to be
cold weather.
a couple of days.
And then doing our
Tomorrow's
best.
going to be
well,
like
trying to clean my
negative
Jeep up,
degrees.
Yeah. No, I meant the high was 9.
Yeah.
That was nice though too. Dustin did wash my Jeep this morning for $5. You get 20 minutes of warm water at the park. What park has its own washing place?
I thought I did a good job, and when I looked again today during the day, I did a terrible job.
Dustin just wanted to like.
all I did was just knock the mud off of it the best
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was mainly, I mean, it's
Well,
still dirty as crap.
So
We left and had like 6 minutes left on the timer because it
Really?
was too freaking cold standing out there. Like I got all the big chunks and it was like, okay. And then it started to like freeze on the floor and it was getting slippery. And I was like, all right, we're done with this. We're
And
going.
it froze my door handles.
David's
Yeah.
door handle froze.
Mine were frozen when we made the first stop. I went to try to open the back door and I couldn't open it.
My tailgate was frozen.
Yeah.
When I got to Sylvia's to drop the YJ off, the straps were frozen and I didn't spray them, but they were still damp from the day before.
Oh, wow. Dang.
But once I got those off and I got the spare tires out from underneath the YJ, I started to proceed to back it off. And apparently there was still water in the e-brake lines or something because
it was stuck.
Yeah, the drums were clamored tight.
Oh, dang.
I had to back off and it was like popping hard. And so then I pulled forward and then I was like, screw it, I'm backing off. And I backed off and it rolled fine when you got, moving good. But if you tried to go slow, it was like, dude, I thought I was going to break something. It was so loud. So I finally got it in the, I was worried about turning too because I backed up and put forward.
I told
backed up,
Savannah
went
to
forward.
try to leave plenty of room for you.
She left plenty. I pulled up.
I said, don't be
Down
afraid
hill.
if you hear the garage open at like 1 a.m. Scotty, he's just dropping his YJ off. Why? Because he broke it
I broke it.
a little bit.
I think
A
it was
little bit.
2 or 215 when it rolled in.
Yeah.
So
I know you text me and it was I don't remember what time it was, but I was asleep. Obviously,
yeah.
then you was like, "Drop the YJ off. We'll be by tomorrow or whatever." And then I read it this morning and I got doing other stuff and forgot to message you back until what 3 o'clock
messaged
this
him this
afternoon.
morning to make sure he got it. Oh, that's the only reason I knew about the it froze thing is because he told me then.
Okay, so 121, I texted you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 105. It was 105 when Stacy and I got home when I text. And then I'm looking at yours. It was 142 when you text.
When I finally got
When you
home.
said I'm home.
Yeah. Yeah, because I pulled up and unloaded some stuff and then text you. And then I had to drive down to the office, turn in, back the trailer over some mounds of snow up into the field, and then just left it there and then walked home.
Yeah.
It was
Oh yeah, did you have to drive that to work today?
Yeah, I drove it to work. I pulled it in. I didn't hear any complaints. I pulled it in just right. And then when I left work, I went back to Rich and Nicky's and dropped it off to them. And
I was curious if you were gonna have to do that last night after here.
no, I was not going to do that. Hell,
Okay.
at that late, I've been running.
Honestly, if we weren't bringing the camper back here, you could have left it in our drive.
I wouldn't have done that though. But since Monday of last week, I've been running on between 3 and 5 hours of sleep every day. So I'm pretty wore out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go home right after work and eat something and face plant in the pillow for.
Well, shit, it was like, actually Saturday morning when you pulled in, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When y'all pulled in.
Probably should end this then, so that way he can get out there and see what gonna do. Since he's been here like an hour, poor guy.
Well, Saturday's supposed to be 45, so.
Oh, is it this Saturday?
This Saturday.
I gotta work for hours and hours and hours since I've been off, but
I'm just ready for it to not be in the single digits.
I'm done with that. Yeah. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button.
Yep.
And we'll be back next week. Same time, same place.
Later.
See ya.
See you next week.